Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're gonna have ourselves a 1v1 on Semoskiy Winter. Our heroes today are going to be FaHu, playing for the German forces in the blue, the austere or Wehrmacht faction, however you want to call it. And his opponent in the red is going to be Kamfrenchie, playing as the Soviets of the Red Army. So we have a good old CoH2 matchup, so Soviets versus the austere or Wehrmacht. So very nice. So while the game gets underway, we'll talk about our players a little bit. We have FaHu, a veteran of the game, I suppose you could say. He is, at the time of casting this, currently ranked at number 66 for his Wehrmacht play. So top 100 player right here. And Kamfrenchie, I mean, again, he's not a scrub. He also has a lot of games under his belt, but not as high up there. He is, at the time of casting this, his Soviet play is at 149. So a little bit of a mismatch maybe, but not really. I mean, pretty close regardless. So hopefully we'll have ourselves a nice and entertaining match for you. So while the game gets underway, we have Kamfrenchie just building conscripts, although he does open up with 2 combat engineers, which is a little bit more unusual, but I mean, not bad in any way. I mean, it is more how do I say this, reminiscent of Vico, where you would open up with 2 engineers or 2 pios while one of them built your original tech structure. In this situation, Kamfrenchie obviously not building any tech. He can build his conscripts from tech 0, but he does open up with 2 of them and then follows that up with 3 conscripts. So a little bit of a heavier engagement in that tier 0 play. Up in the north, Pios and combat engineers engaging. The Pios managing to close the distance very quickly through the cover there, both light and heavy from that hail bale. Get themselves right on top of that combat engineer squad and slaughter them in cold blood. Will force them to retreat. They currently just backpedal, which is a bad idea. They do end up having to retreat down to 1 man because, well, those SMGs are going to win those engagements all the time as long as they close the distance. If you can keep them at bay and have the range advantage, then the combat engineers will win. Conscript Squad 4, Kamfrenchie, will be moving up north to settle that dispute. They are going to be able to push those Pios off of that point. For FaHu, he obviously does open up with tier 1, gets himself 2 Grand Squads and an MG42. Grand's currently around in the center. We have the MG42 coming out of the field right now, and on the far right we have the other Grand Squad capturing. And up in the north, the Pioneer Squad is forced to retreat, not managing to capture the victory, not the victory point, but the fuel point up in the north. But it does manage to kill one of the conscript squads, while the other Grand Squad comes in to reinforce. The second Grand Squad, ooh, that is unfortunate. Anticipation Molotov there by Kamfrenchie. It gets tossed onto the shrubbery over here. May have been a little bit better to be tossed at the hay bale on the other side. However, the Grand Squad is still at 4 men, manages to just simply skirt around, dodge the flames, and put themselves in a better position. The conscripts are forced to reposition themselves while one of them actually walks into the flames and dies, forcing the squad to retreat. Center of the map, MG42 catching one of the conscript squads, actually combat engineer squad, out in the open in the ice. Molotov does fly at the MG42. MG42 going to be forced to retreat, instantly retreat, not even tries to pack up. The conscripts pop into the house, will get some shots off, but the MG42 will make it out of there alive just fine. Grand Squad down south capturing more territory, while the Grand up in the north is trying to capture the field. Second Conscript Squad moves in to engage it. The Grand Squad does lose one of its members. The conscripts closing the distance. They can get themselves into the heavy cover, but they decide to actually step into the zone to decidedly stop the capturing of the point. And the Grands do end up being forced to retreat. So nice engagement here by both players up in the northern fuel point. Will be heavily contested for a while, but it looks like for the meantime Kamfrenchie will be controlling that quite securely. I don't know. Anyways, conscripts up in the front of the base of FaHu will be able to capture that cutoff point. We have a second MG42 getting built for FaHu as he upgrades to his battle phase 1. So we can probably expect a teching up to tier 2, and there goes tier 2 right away. Med bunker also on the field for FaHu, so he wants to have his infantry out on the field very healthy, very strong, so not going to be bleeding any unnecessary manpower there. But at the same time, since he does have to keep his squads up there to get healed up for now, he will be conceding a lot of map territory. Currently, we only have a Grand Squad out on the field. Decaps the southern fuel point and is going to be denying the territory there for the conscripts. The conscripts do Ura forward and they are able to throw Molotovs. Molotov does get wind up. Pitch goes off. hits the house, and the Grand Squad inside is forced to evacuate, but it evacuates straight into a second Conscript Squad that gets right on top of it and is going to be able to provide a lot of damage. We have the other Conscript Squad behind it, potentially getting up there for the flank. However, they are getting caught a little bit in that heavy snow, unable to traverse the territory or terrain very easily. Rifle grenade flies from the Grand Squad, trying to catch that Conscript Squad that was down to 3 men, but it manages to dodge that quite effectively and forces the Grand Squad off of the field. Up in the front of the base, MG42 moves up to recapture the territory. We have the center map getting captured by combat engineers, and we have a conscript squad up in the northern fuel point trying to hold the line. MG42 is brought into the mix. The MG42 will be able to get them suppressed, as even though it does show a green cover signal on the conscript squad, not all of the men are actually getting the green cover. It's just most of them. But as you see, eventually they do get suppressed because, well, the entity causes the suppression and they are forced away. Center map, conscript squad coming up on the flank on that MG42. MG42 caught out of position. There's a PaHu squad trying to protect it. MG42 losing men as it is getting chased down by that conscript squad. We have tier 2 and a Maxim machine gun now on the field for Kamfrenchie. An interesting choice, second Maxim machine gun getting produced, so he will also be trying to control territory. Conscript squad Uras forward to get itself behind the MG42. However, the second MG42 sets itself up to cover the original MG42. Molotov flies from the conscript squad, killing another member of the original MG42 squad, but it does end up having to retreat and actually loses quite a bit of men and health on the retreat. Let's check back at base. Does he have medics? No medics just yet for Kamfrenchie, so that manpower and health bleed will actually be significant. But the Maxim machine gun inside the house is in excellent position to stop both of the MG42s from approaching. One MG42 is forced to retreat. Second one moves up and gets itself right in front of the house. Will be able to provide some firepower in there as the Maxim machine gun turns itself around to face the Pioneer squad behind it. A Grand Squad also on the left-hand side. Actually, the Grand Squad is the focus of the Maxim machine gun. Nice prioritization there, but it is masked by the shed, so it will refocus its target, and the Grants are able to, ooh, this is bad for Kamfrenchie. He's going to lose that Maxim machine gun on the retreat, and it is there for the taking for FaHu. FaHu instantly picks it up, retreats with his PaHus, and now has a Maxim machine gun of his own. So that is not good news there for Kamfrenchie. His second Maxim machine gun is pushing forward right into the line of sight of the other Maxim machine gun, but the Maxim machine gun retreats, and the Grants pop into the church, which will delay the Maxim machine gun quite significantly. Conscripts on the right-hand side of the church, they are able to cut them off if they decide to retreat. The Maxim machine gun now opening up on the church will be able to do a lot of damage to the members inside. Molotov does fly. Oh, it actually flies straight into the door there, getting a lot of damage there on the squad on the retreat. The conscripts Ura forward, getting themselves into range of the Grand Squad, but the MG42 up in the north is really the prime target. The conscripts continue to Ura forward. The MG42 opening up on the combat engineer squad up in the north, capturing the fuel point, gets itself flanked and is forced to retreat. Nice control here by both players of their infantry units, and the MG42s are forced off of the field. So right now, FaHu has nothing on the field. He is, he did get himself a Panzer Grenadier squad. Panzer Grenadier squad, pretty good choice. Will help out quite significantly against these, where is it actually? Ah, there it goes, in the center. Against all the infantry, but the Maxim machine guns may be an issue. As long as they can get the flank, they should be able to clear them out very easily with both their Sturmgewehr rifles and the bundle grenades. Combat engineer with flamethrower for Kamfrenchie pushes up, getting some flamethrower burst off on the not Storm Pioneers. Now I'm going to be mistaking the Panzer Grenadiers for Storm Pioneers. On the Panzer Grenadier squad, doing a little bit of damage there, but not too much. We do have flamethrowers as well on the Pioneers for FaHu, so we may be able to use those to flush out that Maxim machine gun in the house. However, the second Maxim machine gun is coming out, and we see a pack gun getting produced for FaHu and coming onto the field now. Preemptive, yes, but, you know, it is kind of the MO with the game. You don't want to get caught with your pants down, so you want to get that AT gun out as soon as it is possible without, you know, impacting your current army too much. Flamethrower Pios and the Storm... Ah, damn it! I am going to be doing that mistake now. Wow. Panzer Grenadiers catching the squad on the retreat, managing to eliminate a squad. That should be a conscript squad, right? Up in the north, combat engineer squad retreating down to one man, does make it out of there alive. The Maxim machine gun. Oh, a nice stun grenade flies into the house. With that, I should mention the doctrines, obviously. So we see FaHu going for the elite troops doctrine, which Kamfrenchie should know if he noticed that he got stunned there, because it is currently the only doctrine, unless I'm mistaken, that gives you those stun grenades for the Wehrmacht. The Maxim machine gun once again getting decrewed up in the house and getting stolen there by those Grens. So Kamfrenchie not having a very easy time here. He is losing his units left and right, and his Maxim machine guns are currently firing against his troops. And for Kamfrenchie, he goes for the advanced warfare tactics, which is a nice little doctrine. Does give him the advanced warning of what FaHu is producing, and then it gives you that T-34-85 Colin, those PPSA, just so you know, it's a nice little doctrine. I like it. It's pretty well rounded. I do have to sneeze, so excuse me. Damn it, I only sneezed once, and I think another one may be coming soon, but, well, we're gonna have to power through. So excuse me for that. Anyways, we see FaHu having that big victory in the center and pretty much a ridiculous amount of MGs now, being able to push forward and capture a lot of the map. We have MG42s or Maxim machine guns all over the place. Pioneers in the center, a little bit of a stutter there, sorry. Pioneers in the center getting caught by the Maxim machine gun of Kamfrenchie, forced to retreat. Kamfrenchie deciding to detect tier 3 and getting himself a T-70 to be able to deal with all those Maxim machine guns. An excellent choice. I actually like that a lot. We do have that pack on the field, which it has to worry about, but as long as he keeps it pretty much to the edges of the map, he can at least deal with those fringing MGs. But for now, it's still being produced. Going to be hitting it a little bit. Damn it, hold on.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Damn it, I hate when you get a tingly nose, but the sneeze just doesn't come. Anyways, enough about me. Center map, we see a big push here by Kamfrenchie with all his troops. However, it is running straight into the path of a stolen Maxim machine gun, which will get them suppressed. However, the combat engineers actually angle themselves up where it actually forces the Maxim machine gun to reposition itself to the windows, which gives the troops here enough time to push forward. A grenade goes off there by the Gren squad, stun grenade, but it actually misses the combat engineer squad. Combat engineer squad able to still provide a lot of damage into that house with the flamethrower, damage going in, killing one of the squads. Well, not one squad, one of the members of the squad, but the combat engineer squad does take a lot of damage there to those Grens with their LMG. Forced to retreat down to one man. We do have a mortar on the field for FaHu. It's opening up on the squads. These conscripts could do with leaping over the fence. There they go. And they're going to get themselves right on top of that Gren squad. The MG inside the house was forced to retreat down to one man, but it stays alive. And a second conscript squad there for coming up for the flank. Forces the Grens to retreat. MG40, not MG, but mortar forced to retreat. And the Pack gun also forced to retreat with the T-70 coming in for the flank. We do have a Maxim machine gun on the wrong side. The T-70 spots it. It takes a shot, but did Kamfrenchie notice? Yes, he did. He turns the tank around and tries to chase down the MG, but the Maxim machine gun turns the corner and ends up retreating, and is going to be just fine. It's going to be able to retreat and get home safely. Center map, we hear the MG42 up in the center of the ice, just opening up on the conscripts, currently capturing the point. Stun grenade going off into the house. They get stuck. Oh, a nice combination there. Actually, okay. Well, I thought it was a different combination, but still, I mean, it's not too bad. If you can get one stun grenade off, the second grenade will go off. But I thought for a second there that FaHu threw the stun grenade and then followed it up with a muzzle grenade. Still, in the end, though, he did manage to clear out that Maxim machine gun and may potentially steal another one. Panzer Grenadiers popping into the house, going to get some cover and potentially do damage there. However, they're taking a lot of damage. T-70 getting circle strafe going off on the AT gun. The AT gun taking a lot of damage, but it may be able to deal with the T-70. The T-70 has a lot of trouble maneuvering inside the ice of this thing, and it will get fausted here by the Grens. It pushes forwards. The AT gun almost getting cleared out, but with so much infantry nearby, it will not matter too much. The Pack gun does get cleared out. The Pioneer squad is pushing forward to recrew that AT gun. There's a Grand squad also nearby that can do it, and we do have the Panzer Grenadier squad down south that can do potentially the same thing. Conscripts were forced to retreat to the Panzer Grenadier squad. The Panzer Grenadier squad just being a boss. AT gun gets recruited there. Oh, it actually gets mortared by its own team. Well, actually it doesn't say that, so it looks like the T-70 took the... Oh, that is a nasty event there, but, well, pack gun does end up getting cleared out again, but the mortar ends up crushing the ice, or breaking the ice under the T-70, and the T-70 goes down. T-34, that's standard T-34. That's not a doctrinal one because he doesn't have enough command points. So T-34 on the field now. The pack gun is still there. Didn't actually get sunk, so it's unfortunate there for Kamfrenchie. But he does have quite a bit of infantry. Has lost all of his MGs, and currently FaHu still holds 3 of them. Does go for the recovery of 1, ends up retreating, probably has to retreat all his troops, and there's still an MG-42 there on the ice that FaHu could recover, so, I mean, he's not really lacking in number of MGs right now. T-34 pushes straight into the center. We're going to run into those MG-42s and Maxim machine guns. The pack gun is still left there in the ice. Kamfrenchie could do with just simply pushing forward and trying to destroy the weapon or sink it. The Grens are moving currently in that direction. Either going to go for a Faust or they're going to go for the AT gun. We shall see. The AT gun is a priority there for the Grens. They recover the AT gun. Going to turn it around and face the T-34. The T-34 will be forced to back off, and Kamfrenchie actually backs off preemptively. He knows that, you know, it's only a matter of time before something tries to shoot at it. Up in the north, the Grand Squad goes for the fuel point, and victory point is 396 for FaHu, 438 for Kamfrenchie. Pretty much anybody's game at this point. I mean, it's not too big of an advantage. It's about 50 points, yeah, give or take. So yeah.
Our opponents are seizing a sector. That's everyone.
Sorry about all that. The sneeze left me all snotty, and now I'm uncomfortable. Anyways, T-34 moving up to the north. It knows that something capped the fuel point, and it spots the Grand Squad. The Grand Squad is not going to get chased down by the T-34. They end up retreating. T-34 could potentially pick up some kills. One shot goes off, kills one of the Grens, and a second shot will go off. Probably not going to hit anything in that second shot. Yeah, there it goes. But it does force the Grand Squad to retreat. Conscripts moving up to the north. Only one of them getting equipped with PPSAs. Actually, never mind. Only this one in this direction. We have 2 more behind them that are equipped with PPSAs. So all those squads having the ability to just close the distance and do a lot of damage. Pack gun getting some shots off on the T-34. T-34 caught with its pants down. Going to get shot again. Down to about half health. The third shot may fly. Yes, it's actually in range. No, the pack gun decides to turn itself around. Get some more shots in there. The T-34 getting shots off in to the MG inside. Gonna try and clear it out. The Grand Squad moving close. They are in range for a Faust, but they're not in line of sight, so they are unable to do that. And the conscripts move up behind it. The MG inside gets cleaned off, and it actually dies, losing one of the MGs to the battlefield. The Grand Squad backs off, moves forward, backs off, getting flanked by a PPSH-equipped conscript squad. The conscripts will close the distance and do a lot of damage. Grens are forced to retreat. The pack gun is also forced to back off, and pretty much all the troops there for FaHu are forced off of the field. T-34-85 getting called onto the field, and we see a strafing run getting called onto the field as well for Kamfrenchie. Keep in mind that it's just a strafing run, not the lingering one, so it you know, it's not as impressive. So and the T-34-85 that gets called in is just simply one. It's not the combat group, so it is a little bit more easy to manage. So T-34-85 moving over to the right-hand side, running straight into the Maxim machine gun. The Maxim machine gun instantly retreats. The T-34-85 decides to shoot the house for some reason. Why, I don't actually know, but yeah. Conscript squad pushes all the way up to the north and actually steals the MG-42 that got left in the ice. Going to be retreating, so we're kind of even in the number of MGs now. The MG inside this house was lost. Is it still there on the battlefield, or has the units despawned? It looks like they've despawned already. No, actually they're still there. Some of them are there, but the weapon itself doesn't look to be present anywhere. So that's sad. So Kamfrenchie just recovering a lot of territory. Right-hand side, conscripts with PPSHs running into the Panzer Grenadier Squad. Panzer Grenadier Squad only has 2 members, so these conscripts could actually win the engagement, although they are equipped with PPSHs, which does not give them a range advantage. So they keep their distance. Panzer IV moving in that direction, going to run into the conscripts. The conscripts can throw an AT grenade. They do, and they retreat. AT grenade, however, impacts on the surface of the armor. Does a little bit of damage to the tank, but does not disable the engine, so the Panzer IV is quite alive. T-34-85 down south, relaxing in the river. T-34 76. Center of the map's getting some shots off into that house. The house is very weak now. It's in danger of collapsing. So those pioneers are in significant danger. Grand Squad pushes forward, gets in range. No, does not get in range of the Faust. T-3045 coming in or positioning himself for a little bit of a flank there on that Panzer IV. Needs a little bit more to be able to execute that. Needs the infantry to push forward, secure a little bit more of the territory, as there is a pack gun nearby to defend it and Garens to disable it. So it's not simply going to circle around and try and go for the kill. So it's just going to sit there and wait for now. T-3476 backs off a little bit. Combat engineers are nearby. Pack gun and getting some shots off on the combat engineers. They actually spook them and forces a retreat. Panzer IV sitting in the center. Do we have any AT guns? No, we don't have any AT guns because we... Actually, there's no reason why, because he does have tier 2, so I don't know. Panzer IV in the center, getting attacked there by conscripts. The T-3045 turns its turret and shoots at the Panzer IV, inflicting a significant amount of damage. The Grand Squad hold up in this house, getting shot up by the T-3045 and the Maxim machine gun down south. Conscripts in the center take quite a bit of a beating there to the Panzer IV and are forced to retreat. And the Grents in this house are going to be forced to retreat eventually, as the T-3045 is doing a significant amount of damage to the house. If they don't actually end up retreating, this next shot could potentially collapse it. No, the shots are focused to sectors of the house that are currently damaged. So if it continues to hit this area right here, it's not going to do any damage to the house. It needs to essentially collapse the pivots or the supports that are left. Combat Engineer Squad pushes forward. MG-42 that got stolen, getting some shots off on the pack gun. Strafing run right on top of it actually eliminates some of its members, but the pack gun stays alive with 2 members left. And the T-3476 in the center is actually not even damaged. T-3045 pushes forward a little bit too risky, as there is a pack gun or a second pack gun on the field for FaHu. He decides to back off as he probably hears the telltale sign of that T-3045. T-3045 gets itself outside of the arc of fire of the pack gun. The pack gun turns itself around. T-3045 masks itself behind the house and stays alive. Conscript Blov pushing through the center for Kamfrenchie. I mean, not really a issue there with blobbing, really. I mean, they have SMGs, so they're probably going to be working together better if they're clumped up. One of them gets pretty much smacked down by those Panzer Grenadiers. Panzer Grenadiers getting equipped with their Shreks at the most inopportune time to decide to back off and retreat. One conscript squad down to 1 man. Oh, it ends up getting caught on the field due to its combat engineer friends. They got a little bit distracted, and we're talking about the weather. And the Panzer IV punishes them for that and eliminates one of them. So conscript squad down, the other conscript squad retreating. We do have medics on the field for Kamfrenchie, so he gets them out at full strength. And a T-70 again for Kamfrenchie. An interesting choice. I mean, it is very... how would you say it? It is very common, yeah, common to see people just focus on one type of tank. But these two players are doing an excellent job. I mean, Kamfrenchie opens up with a T-70, loses that, goes for the T-34, then gets a T-3045 call-in, and then gets another T-70. I mean, instead of just waiting for another T-3045 and massing those up, he decides to go for a lighter tank that can go for a little bit of movement and harassing. And at the same time, FaHu, instead of just massing up on those Panzer IVs that are more multi-purpose, he gets himself a Stug. And the Stug is excellent against tanks. So, I mean, it makes sense. It's a good choice. It's, I would say, the right choice. But a lot of the times you see people or players just pigeonholing themselves into just getting one type of tanks. Like, oh, well, I'm going to build Panzer IVs, and that's all I'm going to build. And I'm going to mass them up. I'm not going to combine my armor. No flak Panzers, no Stugs, just all Panzer IVs, and I'm going to rely on them to carry me, right? So, it's nice. A strafing run getting called in once again for Kamfrenchie. Going to try and clear out that MG. Ends up not clearing out the MG. Barely keeps it alive with 1 man left, and ends up retreating. The tanks took a little bit of punishment there. The T-34 sitting there pretty, not having too much of an issue. T-70 backs off all the way to the base, and the T-3045 is still there on the flank. We do have the Stug on the field. The Stug will be able to help out to push this T-34 out of the center, as it does have a lot of range. The MG is there. T-34 returns fire on the Stug. The Stug is in danger of getting 18-aided. Conscripts pushing forward. Duran's trying to hold the line. The Stug moves out of the way, and the Panzer IV going to be opening up. We do still have a mortar on the field and Panzer Grenadiers with Treks pushing forward. T-34-76, T-34-85 gets Shrek'd. Pretty much the first amount of damage that it received now. Conscripts push forward. They do not manage to do too much damage to the Panzer IV. One of them gets just manhandled there by the Panzer IV, down to 2 men forced to retreat. The other one is not looking too great either. 3 men left on that conscript squad, but they're going for the victory point. They're trying to capture that. Victory points are 237 for FaHu, 373 for Kamfrenchie, so he still holds the lead there, but he wants to extend that lead as much as he can. Combat engineers over on the right hand side getting forced away to the Maxim machine gun. We also have a Maxim machine gun inside this house, so it you know, it's a little bit of a duel there, but there you go. T-70 not having too much luck doing anything, but it is, you know, still there, still capable. It can move right now all the way to the right-hand side and force that MG to move out of the way. And it looks like that is exactly what it's going to be doing. Yeah, it's still moving in that direction. So T-34-85 and T-34-76 sitting in the center. And do we have combat engineers? Yeah, we have one squad retreating. We have a second squad somewhere around. It's currently up in the north, so one of them could do with moving into the center to try to repair that tank. Conscripts are also able to repair with this Doctrine, so a conscript squad could be used to that effect as well. So T-70 moves to the right-hand side, right on top of that Maxim machine gun, going to be clearing out very easily if it doesn't retreat. Forces a retreat because why wouldn't it? And wow, the squad is just not having any luck. It actually gets cleared out, and we see the Maxim machine gun pushing over to the right-hand side. The Panzer Grenadiers are moving in its direction. These are veterans, the 3 Panzer Grenadiers. The T-70 is in a lot of trouble. It gets hit in the rear armor. Panzer IV takes a shot at the Maxim machine gun. The T-70 is trying to GTFO. Can the Panzer IV chase it down? Oh, a nice shot by the T-70. Actually nails the Panzer IV, but the Panzer IV now notices it, hits Blitzkrieg, chases it down. The T-70 loses its main gun, and oh my god. The gunner on top actually ended up eliminating the T-70. That is a badass shot. However, the Panzer IV exposes itself severely and ends up losing itself in that fight to the T-34-76 and the T-34-85. However, I don't think FaHu is going to be crying about that Panzer IV too much because he just called himself the Tiger Ace onto the field now. So the Tiger Ace is going to be pushing straight into the center. That is going to be very difficult to deal with. Could potentially go for the ram and try to disable it, but it is a very, very big gamble. T-34-85, T-34-76 trying to get right on top of that Tiger Ace, doing as much damage as possible. It is being supported by a Stug and AT guns, however, so the T-34s are going to be losing this engagement. T-34-85, the main focus here right now for FaHu. He's going to be taking that down very easily. Down goes that tank, and the T-34-76 is also going to be lost. Kamfrenchie could do, which is simply backing off and going for the ram, but no, he's just going to lose it eventually, so he's getting as much damage as he can in there. Does have an AT gun on the field. The AT gun could potentially be used to do more damage. The T-34-76 gets left on the battlefield, and the T-34-85 decides to eliminate it for some reason or another. AT gun trying to get as much damage in as he can on that Ace. The Ace is getting blocked there by the T-34-85. The T-34-85 in position to just shoot it in the ass, but it is not shooting it as it is maneuvering itself in very awkward angles. Gets a shot off. Tiger Ace down to about half health. The AT gun still alive, but getting harassed here by the Tiger Ace. Ends up getting cleared out, and the pack gun is going to force that T-34-85 to move out of the way. Squad, this is a pack gun, gets cleared out there by the T-34-85. The conscript right on top of all the troops, end up clearing a mortar squad as well. Conscript squad gets eliminated there by the Tiger Ace, and the conscripts are having a bad time. Stug still on the field, still able to provide a lot of fire support there in range. The conscripts end up retreating. The Tiger Ace now going to be focusing on the T-34-85. T-34-85 exposing its rear armor to the Tiger Ace, gets itself shot, and down it goes. So much like it happens, and used to happen, and still happens, the Tiger Ace pretty much deciding the fate of this game. Kamfrenchie saying, fucking hell. So yeah, I mean, it is very difficult to deal with personally. I mean, one thing I would have said, and it probably wouldn't have mattered too much, but he lost it anyways. I would have gone for the ram on the T-34-76, just in the off chance that it may potentially get a critical But yeah, he's saying about the wreck here, the wrecks here in the center, they were blocking the line of sight to the AT gun, so the AT gun wasn't shooting automatically. You can kind of fix that just simply by attacking ground, but it is, you know, a little bit more required micro than you are not probably able to do in that moment because a lot of things are going on. So yeah, I mean it is frustrating. It is understandable. AT gun does get recovered for Kamfrenchie to be able to keep those things at bay, and he, out of all things, decides to go for a half track. That is a very interesting decision, but not a, I guess you could say, unwise one. The half track will provide him the ability to reinforce on the field, and that is exactly what he needs with his troops right now, especially his AT gun and his other weapons that he can recover, because retreating them back to base takes a while. So yeah, I mean he's gonna get a half track out there and potentially keep those on the field. So very nice. I like that. That combat engineer squad could be used right now to start repairing that AT gun. Keep it as high in health as possible because the Tiger Ace is exceptionally good at killing weapon teams, the weapons themselves. Not, I mean, yes, it clears out weapon teams as well, but it does a lot of damage to the weapons. They take a lot of direct damage, so it will die eventually. So half track on the field. All these troops are going to get reinforced, and they will be able to stay on the field. Conscripts on the left-hand side going for capturing of victory points. Even with those severe losses, Kamfrenchie still holds the lead in victory points. FaHu is down to 196 while he holds 352. So it's not a completely horrible position, but he is, you know, fighting an uphill battle right now because, well, FaHu still has the Tiger Ace, and he kept his Stug. And aside from that 18 gun, there is nothing that Kamfrenchie right now has that can deal with that. With that Tiger, AT gun taking some shots at the Stug as it approaches. Manages to do some damage, but the AT gun is getting cleared out. The Tiger Ace is trying to focus right now on the AT gun, and there it goes. That is exactly what I was referring to. The AT gun gets eliminated because it had already taken a lot of damage to the Tiger Ace, and it took more damage now. So yeah, that is again another small mistake there that he made. He should have been repairing that AT gun throughout this entire time while the engineer was waiting for the repairs, and also you know, and also repairing while it got reinforced. But I mean, still, it probably wouldn't have changed the outcome of this engagement. It would just maybe have taken a little bit longer for the Tiger Ace to deal with it. He probably would have ended up still just clearing out the AT crew members before the reinforcements could have, you know, changed that. But, well, there you go. So, Tiger Ace being what it always is. Panzer Grenadiers for FaHu, she's being utilized to capture in the center. The Stug having a field day, feeling pretty comfortable. Conscripts moving in for a flank on that pack gun, managing to actually do so. The Stug turning around to try to help out. Stug can get some kills on the infantry, but again, it's not designed as an anti-infantry, so it's not going to stop them very easily, but, you know, it's better than a lot of other tanks, say like the Su-85. It is a lot better than that tank for dealing with infantry. Down to one man on that conscript squad. Will the Tiger Ace eliminate it? No, it was actually focusing on the combat engineers. Strafing run gets right on top of the troops, forces the retreat of the Panzer Grenadiers, and that's about it. The other squads remain alive, and they don't actually care. T-3045 getting called in for Kamfrenchie. Again, not going to have too much of an impact in the game anymore. If the other tanks were alive and he now had 3 T-3045s and the T-3046, yeah, that'd be a different thing. But again, having to deal with a Tiger Ace and a Stug at the same time with only one tank is nigh on impossible. Oh, wow. I had not noticed that. Is that new? Pretty sure that's new, otherwise I'm an idiot, but you can actually see the health of the squad of the weapon now. When did that change? If you know when that changed, let me know, because I completely forgot about that. I think that happened like in the September 9th or 10th patch, right? I think. Yeah, I think I kind of remember that being said, but oh, that's nice. So you can actually see the health of the thing now. So that's really good. So it shows you both the health of the squad and the health of the weapon, which is nice. So yeah, I mean, that should help a lot. And allow you to keep track and make sure that you keep your weapons as healthy as possible. Like for example, this mortar is at half health, so the Pios could just simply go and repair it. Doesn't actually give me others. So yeah, you just select the weapon, and it gives you the option to repair, and you just get it back to full strength. So yeah, I mean, Kamfrenchie trying to regroup, trying to recover and capture territory, but I mean, the Tiger Race is just too beastly to be able to deal with. I mean, if he had been laying down mines throughout the game, the Tiger Race maybe just hit one potentially, but no. FaHu, not having a lot of population cap available, decides to just simply destroy the weapons that are left on the field that he's not going to be recovering. I mean, in all honesty, he doesn't actually need the AT guns anymore because of his composition. The Stug is more than enough support for the Tiger Race. And he's getting himself a Panzer IV as well, so that Panzer IV will just, you know, put the nail in the coffin, as you would say. So Kamfrenchie, again, trying to recover as much territory as he can. The Panzer Grenadiers also putting in their own 2 cents there to the destroying weapons as well. He's not going to be using it. He doesn't want his enemy to recover them, so he's utilizing this downtime. So FaHu sitting pretty comfortably. He doesn't even want to attack. He doesn't actually care about attacking because he is pretty sure he has this in the back. Doesn't have the victory points yet. He's capturing the one on the right-hand side and slowly, well, even losing territory. So he is providing Kamfrenchie pretty much the opportunity to come back. But again, Tiger Race, Stug, and Panzer IV now. 1T-3485 has no shot against that, and those could just simply walk up to the base and eliminate him by, what's it called, annihilation? Yeah, I mean, you know, you die if you lose all your base weapons. Elite troop training used on what? Red Squad? No. Pio? Stug? Panzer IV. Panzer IV got a little bit veteran, but they didn't get a veteran C1. Conscripts and combat engineers coming in for a little bit of a flank in the center. Tiger Race moves in, says hello. The conscripts retreat instantly as they know they can't stand a chance. Stug putting in his shots in there. The Tiger Race chasing it down. Down goes the conscript squad, and Kamfrenchie sheds a single tear. Kamfrenchie throws in the towel. He knows, yeah, he knows it. Obviously, the game was over a while ago. He had no way to recover, and that is all. So, yeah. See how you leave in your comments your feels about the Tiger Race even at this stage of the game. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed the game, at least. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.